It was a crisp autumn evening when Max decided to stop by the KFC drive-thru for his usual two-piece combo with mashed potatoes and coleslaw. As he waited in line, the smell of freshly fried chicken wafted through his car window, making his stomach rumble. But little did Max know, this would be the last time he'd ever eat KFC. The moment he pulled up to the window, something felt off. The cashier, a young woman with wide eyes, handed him his bag of food, but seemed a bit too eager to get rid of him. "Enjoy your meal," she said, almost too quickly. Max nodded, dismissing the strange vibe, and drove home. When he entered his kitchen and opened the bag, something wasn't right. The fried chicken was perfectly golden, just like usual, but as he lifted the first piece to his mouth, a sudden shiver ran down his spine. The chicken seemed almost too perfect. He bit into it, and the taste was unlike anything he'd ever experienced, rich, savory, and strangely alive. As he chewed, he felt a tightness in his throat. The world around him seemed to blur. Max dropped the chicken in shock as he clutched his chest. His vision swam, and suddenly, everything went black. When Max opened his eyes, he found himself standing in the middle of a vast, dark field. The sky above was clouded over, and an eerie mist rolled across the ground. It was silent. Too silent. Then a voice boomed from above, as though coming from every direction at once. "Do you know what you've done, Max?" Max's heart raced. He looked around, but there was no one in sight. Who are you?" he managed to say. A shadow appeared in front of him, shifting and changing like a dark fog. Slowly, it took the shape of a giant chicken, a monstrous creature towering over him with glowing red eyes. Its feathers were slick and black, its beak sharp and curved like a deadly knife. "You ate me," the voice said, dripping with malice. "You ate us." Max stumbled back, his mind reeling. What? What is this? What are you talking about?" The monstrous chicken tilted its head, its eyes narrowing. "The chicken you eat, Max, is no ordinary meat. It's the soul of those who have been taken, those who have been killed for this business." Max's stomach churned as the realization hit him like a ton of bricks. The fried chicken, the taste. It wasn't just food, it was the essence of countless creatures that had been slaughtered to feed humanity's insatiable hunger. "No," Max whispered, horrified. "I didn't know. I never thought—" "You didn't think," the creature hissed. "And now, you will pay the price. You've consumed life, Max, and now life must consume you." Suddenly, the ground beneath Max's feet began to tremble. The chicken creature's eyes glowed brighter, and the field around him began to shift, forming a twisted version of the KFC restaurant he had just visited. Inside, he could see hundreds of chickens, more alive than they had ever been, staring at him with hatred in their eyes. "You will never escape this place," the chicken said, its beak snapping as it advanced on Max. "The more you eat, the more you take, and now you will join us in our eternal hunger." Max tried to run, but the mist closed in around him, wrapping him in its suffocating grip. He could hear the screeching of countless chickens echoing in his ears. His chest tightened, and he gasped for breath, but the more he struggled, the closer the chickens came. Max woke up with a jolt, his body drenched in sweat. He was back in his kitchen, still sitting at the table with the half-eaten piece of chicken in front of him. His heart pounded as he glanced at the clock. Only a few minutes had passed since he first took the bite, but the chicken— it was still there, staring at him. The golden, crispy skin glimmered as if mocking him. With trembling hands, Max pushed the plate away. His stomach turned as the sound of clucking filled the air around him. The chicken on his plate seemed to move, its skin rippling like it was alive. Then the voice echoed in his mind again. "You've consumed the last of us, Max. You have taken the souls of the innocent. You've eaten us for the last time." Max looked at the plate one final time before he did the only thing he could think of. He grabbed the plate and ran outside, hurling it into the trash can. As he closed the lid, the ground seemed to tremble beneath his feet. He turned and stumbled back to his house, heart pounding, his mind reeling from the terror he had just experienced. He vowed never to return to KFC again. He knew what had happened to him was not a dream. It was a warning. And as he lay in bed that night, the taste of that perfect chicken still lingered on his tongue. Every time he closed his eyes, he could see the glowing eyes of the monstrous chicken watching him, waiting. It was never really over.